Today is day 9 on my journey to 2000. I played 4 games and I did 44 puzzles on Chessable. Out of these 4 games, all of them felt very sharp. Like, it was a battle and then there was one big mistake, or it felt very complicated. So we're gonna go through these 4 games. I reviewed them a bit on my own before this video, but let's go through them. This is the first game, and I just had a very bad end game in this game. I developed all my pieces, kicked the bishop out. All of this was fine, apparently. Here is my first mistake. I'm just, I guess, blundering that. I was thinking taking this opens up this position. It's okay for me to open it up, and I'm going to try to push this pawn. I don't remember exactly what I was thinking. Oh, it takes away the center pawn for protecting... It takes away the protection of the center pawn. This becomes a backwards pawn, and I could still push this up in the future to support this, so I thought that was okay. But that wasn't my big mistake in this game, so we're going to rush a little bit towards the big mistake. I had this grand idea earlier on. I didn't expect this move. I had this grand idea to basically, like, do some crazy stuff where my queen gets into the position. I didn't expect this f7 pawn to push forward. And then the queen got into the position, and I had this grand plan of attacking the queen like this. But he got rid of everything, and I'm like, okay, that simplifies things for me. There is no attack, and I was right. Like, the position equalizes. After we trade a bunch of stuff, I get into the position with my rook, and I'm thinking, okay, you know, this is not horrible. I'm like, okay, with one rook, I feel confident I could make this happen somehow. This is just bad. This is my blunder. I was supposed to check, and I'm guessing get into the position like this. I don't remember. I remember reviewing this, but I don't remember exactly what my biggest mistake was. Endgames are really complicated, I feel. But yeah, then I had this great idea that if he takes, I could take, or I could just get into the position. I was obsessed with getting my rook into the position and taking care of the pawns later, which was just not smart. Like, even here, I should have just taken that. Like, he could get into the position. That was my mistake, and it's a real threat. Like, I'm thinking here I could take this pawn and walk that pawn into the into promotion, but for some reason I just ignore that, and I'm scared of this threat of these 2 pawns, and I give up another pawn, and I don't know what I'm doing. So this is just bad endgame. I need to practice my endgames more. Most of the other games were pretty sharp, but this game I think was most of the other games, the other 3 games. In this game, I wrote down that I had a wrong sacrifice. I spent a lot of time on one move that wasn't a good move. So we'll go through that soon. Here I thought, oh, let's open up the position, and I'm just going to attack the queen. And here was actually my big mistake. I should have came here, putting pressure on this area, so that, let's say if he just develops the knight there, I could take, and, you know, this is actually, I'm up a pawn like that. Obviously, if my opponent would let me do that, but that wasn't the big thing. So my plan here was to get my king to safety, not worry about any of this. My knight is in an outpost right now, and to sack this knight. And I looked it over a bit. I calculated more than I normally would have. I even saw the queen coming in, and I thought this was all fine, because after this and this, I just thought, I'm getting into the position like crazy. It's worth it. Computer disagrees with me, but that's exactly what happened. If we look back here, how long did that... I think the queen move took me a long time. Yeah, so that took me a minute and a half to make that move. And then I just went along with this plan, pretty much. And I tried to get into the position, and for some reason I thought my rook was defended here. I don't know why I thought that, but after he took it, I saw this idea. And I'm just getting into the position. And the reason why I didn't come here is because I thought the knight here would cover the escape square. And here, yeah, I'm back at the outpost. Like, this is a threat, but then he could run away. I can't take this. The knight protects it. It just looked a little frustrating. Here, I thought I was losing. Here, I just thought... not here. Right... Yeah. So once I saw the queen could check and go there, I was like, oh, this is not good. And I thought this was just losing. That he could just go here and I would just lose. Like, he gets his other rook into the game or whatever. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what I was thinking, but thankfully he didn't see this threat of checkmate, and I get the checkmate. Yeah. So yeah, the best move is here because let's say I try to go for this rook, I get checkmated. Which I saw that back rank checkmate possibility. Okay, third game. I feel like I'm not reviewing these games that well today. This is the Scotch game, my favorite game, and I think I'm a little too cocky with the Scotch game. I spent a lot of time in this game. I spent a minute and 20 seconds on taking here, which was the best move. But just because I didn't know exactly how to play with the pawn taking, and then I bring my bishop out just to develop. Apparently this was better. Maybe to castle and get my rook out. Maybe to prevent the rook from castling this way, to prevent the bishop. I'm not even exactly sure. I don't understand why this is the best move, to be honest. Like if he attacks me, I see. I guess my bishop could stay there for a while, I guess is the point. But anyway, this is what ends up happening. And here I spend an insane amount of time thinking. Oh, this one was 10 seconds. Right here. I spent 2 full minutes thinking about this, and I'm trying to make things trickier than they are. That was the problem today. I overthought this capture, and I lost because of time and other factors. But I don't know, I feel like I'm making things more complicated than they have to be because the past few days, or since the challenge started, I've been trying to like kind of keep one thing in mind from each day, or you know. So one of the things I tried to keep in mind is look through lines. Don't be lazy, right? So I looked through lines. I didn't just take. I thought, okay, what if I come here and I let him take? And I check, okay, that doesn't make sense. If I let him take and I take this, yeah, he could take that, but then I come back and I'm castling, maybe that's good, I don't know. But castling doesn't work because this comes in, forking my rooks, and I was looking at all this stuff, I decided to go with the knight. The thing is, if I was teaching someone, I would say, you're gonna lose this pawn, it's under attack. And I can't take back because the knight takes back as well. And I'm not doing well. The plan here apparently was to attack the knight. If takes, then takes. And it's pretty even. I'm losing, but not the end of the world. I check to pin the knight. And then it just becomes really complicated. Everything gets defended. His king moves forward. And it gets super complicated for me. I thought, okay, let me get my bishop in. Nope. This was a better move. Maybe put pressure on this pawn, on this king. And I just go into the game because I'm thinking it's an endgame. I want to get my pieces to the back row. And then I see like this idea where he could trap me, bringing the knight and the king in. So I'm like, okay, we have to trade rooks so I don't get my bishop trapped. I let him take so my pawn stops the knight from coming in, even though it separates my pawns. And then I do all this, and I trade this, and I think, okay, maybe I have a chance. I don't have a chance. I trade here, because I had like less than a minute at this point. Yeah, 35 seconds, and I just lose the game. So actually, I take it back. The biggest mistakes maybe were the end games, at least for the first and the third game. Here, I finally played decently, but I missed some tricks. So my opponent does the Karo Khan, which I'm decently aware of the tricks. And I bring the queen here knowing it's not like the typical move, but thinking it's okay. It's not. There's a reason this is called a poisoned pawn. My queen is trapped here. My opponent doesn't see it. This traps my queen. I can't take because of the rook. Can't take because of the queen. I probably would be forced to take here. Can't go here because the knight takes. Can't escape here because of this, here. It's like crazy. It's crazy how... Like, look how crazy this is. The knight stops this. The bishop stops this. The pawn stops this. The queen stops this. It's like all different pieces preventing me from running away. So my opponent missed it, though. And the second he came in with the queen, I was like, you know what? Trading makes more sense. You can see I'm playing faster now, I believe. Like, I'm a minute up. Here I bring my knight in. I'm thinking, okay, I'm really happy with this position. He just gave me a free pawn, and I could just plop my knight back in. If he takes, my pawns are connected. Maybe I take this way. I would have thought about it. But I was thinking about both ways of taking. And maybe I could even plop this in here in the future with the rook and the bishop and kind of stop this pawn from pushing. But anyway, that's not what happens. This is what happens instead. He trades. My pawn here is a little weak. I see his knight is attacking, so I protect with my rook. This took me a while to think about. I missed two really cool tricks here. Puzzles should have shown me them, but I just didn't see them. I saw something like this, but I was like, that does not look like a good sacrifice. I saw some other stuff. I even saw this, but I didn't realize that I could now attack the knight because it's pinned to the king. And if he tries to defend, he tries to defend. But I'm just winning here. I'm up a piece essentially. So I did not see that. Instead of that, I bring my rook, and I make sure I don't get forked, and I attack the knight. And at this point, I realize that... Oh, at this point, I also miss... Wait. Why didn't I... I don't remember the exact... maybe I just disliked these pawns coming in. But I definitely should have taken there. I don't know why I didn't. While I was blitzing through these moves. This took me 15 seconds, actually. When the knight was there, because I saw this whole idea of the knight attacking my rook, and my rook coming here. I actually saw all that. I thought it was okay. And my rook still defends this pawn. After all that stuff, I en passant, and after the en passant, I'm like, okay, I'm pretty much winning. I have these 3 pawns which are crazy. Let me reroute my knight to trade so my rook becomes active. Let me double my rooks. Oh wait, he's attacking. And yeah, and then it's pretty much over. He blunders his rook and it's over. So those were the 4 games. This game, I guess I was in a better position. I still made some mistakes though. The other few games, just my end game ability is bad, and my whole ability is bad. Starting next week, I'll be studying from a chess book, and or playing a lot more games per day. I'll have more time to focus on games. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 10, which might be special. I don't know. Okay, bye-bye.